Welcome, everybody. Bill McCrory ready to drop the puck. Paul Dvorsky will be working with McCrory, Brian Murphy, and Tim Nowak of the linesman. Game 2 is underway. Devils in their home white send it into the zone. The Ducks Ruchin back, took the hit, cleared it near side for Keith Carney. This is a respond game for the Mighty Ducks. A response to what happened to them getting shut out 3-0 in Game 1. Langenbrunner to Madden, bounced away off Keith Carney, cleared back out to center.
And in Game 1, the matchup was exactly what we thought it would be, exactly what the coaches wanted, and they've started with exactly the same starting lineups in Game 2 here.
No changes in the lineups. Jaguar held that one up, cleared up the near side by Leclerc. That first game, the Devils outshot Anaheim 30-16. Jaguar just letting that one go by off Gianna's stick, and it's cleared out by Peter Sikora. The first good chance of the game goes to New Jersey. Oates was looking at it, let it roll deeper, cleared back up and out of the zone. Niedermeyer back to get it. Niedermeyer teamed up with Colin White defensively. Into the middle, a lot of room. Freezing again. Shot save made. Jaguar. Ozelich over to get it. Good play by Ozelich to get it into the middle. Leclerc moves it in. Oates out in front of him. Leclerc, Oates, and Sikora on this line to start for the Mighty Ducks. Looking for Leclerc in front. Sikora get it away to Oates. Adam Oates pass, bounce. Niedermeyer had it. Oates re-intercepts up the wall. Marshall cleared it out. Elias coming back. Elias the spin-a-rana move, but Soleil won't let him go by. Ozelich picks it up, and it's moved out to center. Ducks want to change. Back it comes. Near side, Soleil lost it. Marshall almost cleared back near side. Gomez.
Good play by Scott Gomez. He is picking up where he left off in Game 1. I thought he was the Devils' best player, even though he didn't light it up like Friesen did.
He is due to pick up a goal. He's not had a goal in the last 8 games. Centered on Brodeur, trying to find it loose in the slot, and kicked away. Tommy Avila knocked her down, and cleared out of the zone. Patrick Elias, and a good scramble for the Ducks.
Mike Babcock, after Game 1, walked into the locker room and said, "Don't you dare mention the layoff." He wants accountability. He is a stand-up guy. He wants his players to be stand-up people. But he knows the Mighty Ducks have to worry about their game and not the Devils' game, because that was the big drop-off in Game 1. Don't take anything away from the way the Devils played. They stuck to the script, played an excellent game. The Mighty Ducks were just a shadow of themselves in Game 1.
Adam Oates on that face-off, their big draw man, not able to win that one. Moved by Gianna through center. Breland won the face-off. Back for it, Peter Sikora. That'll be touched up as well. 13 years since he last coached in the finals. Now looking for his first cup.
Fine line between a smile and a smirk, isn't there?
Especially for Pat Burns.
Pat Burns is one of my favorite guys. Boy, you talk about another stand-up guy. That is Pat Burns. And he knows. It took Pat Burns about 15 minutes after Game 1 to announce to the media, we know our guys are going to have to be better because we know they're going to be way better. And the first goal, yes, does mean something. Both of these teams undefeated.
Save made on the shot by Ruslan Soleil, and a good setup. Wraparound chance knocked away. Chouinard came around the net. Ironically, in Game 1, it was Chouinard with 4 shots who led the Ducks, even though he had the least ice time of any Anaheim player. That tells you something about how the rest of their forwards were off their game. Cleared back off the near side, a 2-line pass to Biles. Well, that'll be whistled. Marty Brodeur just keeps on winning. Jiggy got a lot of the headlines early in the playoffs. Brodeur's creeping up in that department too.
Added to his offensive totals in Game 1 with an assist. Now has a goal and 7 assists in the playoffs. Lifetime.
12 and 6 in the finals for him too.
He's ahead of some forwards that have played a lot.
That's right. That's exactly right. Yeah, face off again, one for the Devils.
It's just not fair. He's that good with the stick.
Keith Carney coming back to get it behind the net. Carney, their ice time leader in this playoff season. Carney moved it ahead. Nick Hovland, by a few seconds, was their ice time leader in Game 1 of this series. Paul Correa, Langenbrunner, and he saw a lot of each other in Game 1. Langenbrunner knocked it away again. Intended for Scott Stevens. Hovland will one-arm that one. Short sticked it back for Carney. Keith Carney has left the ice here in the first period. Langenbrunner coming over. Langenbrunner centered. Madden, a chance. Save made. Jaguar. And pushed in for a cover-up to get a face-off. And yes, there was a whistle. Steve Ruchin put it right back on Jaguar.
Yeah, the Devils are so hungry. When Keith Carney tried to bank it right here, he tried to bank it to Hovland, but he put it hard around. And that's when Langenbrunner came out. A great play by John Madden to pick it up off his skate and get rid of it right away. But Jaguar looked sharp early here. Plays the percentages, was in perfect position. Almost always square to the shooter, and if it looks spectacular, the save. If it looks spectacular, he's made a mistake someplace.
Ducks have only lost 3 games. They are 12-3 this playoff year. The Devils are 13-5. Jaguar's played in all of those. There's a man who's done damage. John Madden, who leads everybody in shots this playoff year with 59. Marshall dumped it around the boards, played by Steve Thomas. Thomas leaves it in the middle. Paulson's on the right. There's Paulson, tipped away from him before he could get it. Good double tip by Tommy Avalon and cleared up into the Devils bench.
You know, Scott Gomez, the fact that he played so well in Game 1 was no surprise to Mike Babcock, the head coach of the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim. He told me today, he said, I know Scott Gomez. And I knew when Joe Nieuwendyk was scratched from the lineup that Scott Gomez would feel more important in the Devils locker room and on the ice. And I had no doubt that he was going to be a strong player in Game 1 because he's the kind of guy, like most people, you feel important, you're going to play important. And Gomez did in Game 1.
Gomez, one of only 8 NHL players to win both the Calder as the Rookie of the Year and the Stanley Cup in the same year. Did it here with the New Jersey Devils. Ozolin left it along the near side wall, sent in a ton offside. And Niedermeyer and Leclerc have a little shoving match, not enough to get a penalty. Mike Leclerc couldn't get his stick away from Scott Niedermeyer of the Devils. Not actually the Stanley Cup, ladies and gentlemen. The 110-year-old cup has been banged around, but even it has not looked that bad.
It's a one-bedroom apartment that looks a lot like the Stanley Cup. That's why that guy's living in it.
Davidovsky played it up the far side wall. Jason Krog held it in. Into the corner. Davidovsky again goes around the near side. Cheeston stepped up to hold it in. The rookie loose behind the net. Centering pass in front. Soleil fanned on a bouncing puck. Trying to get that shot off. Backcourt is Wisniewski. Wisniewski able to play it back into the zone. The Devils right there on the turnover. McKenzie and Soleil collide. Chase into the corner. He took the young rookie. Trying to drop it into the middle. Went off the side of the net and the stick of Jaguar. Cleared around the near side. Take it away. Devils got to clear the zone. They do. Chipped it back in. Soleil intercepted. Ducks changing behind the play. Paul Correa, one shot. Game 1. Correa shot out in front. Deflected. Still loose in the corner. And the Ducks definitely trying to pick up the pace on driving the net here in this game.
They snuck a line change out there without Scott Stevens in the Madden unit. That's why Paul Correa came rocketing off the bench.
Correa trying to get out there and get away from Madden and Stevens. The matchup the Devils got into the middle of Ruchin. Poke checked away to center. Keith Carney, who just came on the ice, waits for his teammates to clear. Rob Niedermeyer up. Niedermeyer looking into the middle. Shot, save, Brodeur. Rebound. There is one. And it came loose, but he got the benefit of the whistle. Official lost sight of it, even though it rolled free. The whistle blew.
Well, the Devils have their matchup out there now. Scott Stevens made it to the ice surface, but the Anaheim Mighty Ducks still coming on. Ruslan Soleil earlier dished to Paul Correa. Watch him try to go wide here in this little move. He slipped the puck between the blade of Tverdovsky's stick and his body, and then tried to center it out. He got it out front, but it went through everybody's feet, including his own teammates. Paul Correa this morning, it's hard to describe. I mean, when we talked to him, Brian Engblom stood there with me and talking to him, he was extremely intense, yet he looked relaxed at the same time. Just a picture of focus.
Friesen's got it. He'll send that one in around the near side boards. Deanna out there for the Devils trying to hold it in. Came to center. Friesen back to get it. Friesen's had 4 goals the last 7 games, and he's in a little tay-to-tay in the press. Friesen is with the GM of the Mighty Ducks, Brian Murray. Murray was quoted in the Los Angeles press as saying, I remember Friesen coming to me and saying, I want to get traded to a team that's got a chance to win. When Friesen heard that, he said, I just said I wanted a chance to play. I didn't say that this wasn't a good team. Everybody said, oh, we love that kind of controversy in the playoffs.
Well, the Mighty Ducks weren't very good in Game 1, and Mike Babcock's good friend, Mark Rippon, the guy that quarterbacked the Washington Redskins to a Super Bowl championship and is a good friend of Mike Babcock's because Babcock coached in Spokane and Rippon is from Spokane. Rippon called him yesterday and said, hey, Babs, your team was awful. He said, you know what, you were like a team after the bye week in football. He said, you know what, don't wait till your guys tell you how they feel. Tell them like Joe Gibbs used to do with the Redskins, how they're going to feel that night, and they will.
Marshall had the opportunity, was deflected away. Elias will pick it up. Patrick Elias starts it up ice for the Devils. Ducks changing it up near side. Gomez inside Elias. Save made and a penalty coming on the Ducks. Behind the play, it'll be a power play coming for the Devils and the first penalty of the game. Game 2, scoreless.
Obstruction.
Another opportunity here. So 0 for 1 in this series. In the playoffs, the Devils power play 10 for 64. Center Gomez shot it high over Jaguar. This is where you want to go at it as Jaguar covers up that ice level.
Notice he didn't go down to his knees though, Jaguar. He was still standing.
Niedermayer's got it. Niedermayer drops it. Gomez back for Niedermayer. Niedermayer's shot deflected. Elias trying to get a shot blocked. Led back for Gomez. He gets double teamed. Elias to Gomez. Looking along the wall. He gets challenged. Back up onto the point. Niedermayer's wide open. Shot wide of the net. Jaguar getting a lot of coverage in front of him for screens. Set near side. Langenbrunner couldn't handle. It'll be clear. This penalty kill of the Mighty Ducks during the regular season was second best in the NHL. Back to get it is Rafalski. The Devils rely on Sikora during the regular season to score power play goals. They're a leader. Right back in. Elias in the middle. Tipped it. Couldn't be reached by Langenbrunner as Niedermayer knocked it away. Rob Niedermayer of the Ducks follows it up ice. Sent around the boards. Scott Niedermayer out there on the power play and his brother going by him. Before checking pressure put on. Now Niedermayer backs off. That's it. Elliott. It's as though when the Devils get on the power play, everything they've learned disappears from their forwards.
Well, they get by with such hard work and such fundamental positioning and defensive posturing out there that this is all offense. It's not what they're used to playing.
Yeah. They can't stand to have a man advantage. It means they don't have to grind out so hard. Freeland in behind the net. Gianna to him. Knocked away by Havlin. Dropped off for Gianna. Gianna looking. Power play still underway with 20 seconds left on it. Friesen had it chipped away. Played around the near side. Soleil took a stick to the face. Wants a call. He's not going to get it. Ruslan Soleil held his glove to his face as long as he could. Tried to get the officials to take a look at him. They did and went on about their business.
That looked like he took it around the right eye.
Right back in by Friesen. That'll do it on the power play. They did not get a shot. No shots first power play. Madden chance. Jaguar the save. Of course, that combined, the Nets and the Devils are 15-2 when playing here at the Continental Airlines Arena. Not bad. NBA or NHL home advantage. Played around by White. White looking into the middle for Madden. Got deflected. Leclerc was cutting to the net, but it came to center.
Colin White just ran over Peter Sikora. That's been a matchup. It was all of game one, and it should be a continuing matchup here.
Marty Brodeur, who loves to play that puck, had that one bounce away. White comes back to get it. Colin White playing at a +3 this playoff year. Moves it up to the red line, dumps it in. Madden was in a collision with Oates out there that time. Both teams making line changes. The matchups didn't matter as the Devils were able to get the matchups they wanted in game one. Ruchin a chance. Save made by Brodeur. Steve Ruchin getting that one in. 4-3 the shots favor the Devils. Cleared back up almost halfway through this first period. And only 4 shots out on the board for each team. Soleil takes it back in behind the net. Couple of forecheckers for the Devils. Dropped into the middle by Ruchin, but Friesen was there to intercept it. Played back, Stevens. Stevens now #1 all-time defenseman in games played, 228. As he goes by Larry Robinson, his former coach and mentor, one of the game's greatest defensemen. Back into the middle, it'll be Breland. Breland dumps it in wide. Jaguar coming back to play it. Dropped it off Keith Carney. Carney looks to move it wide. Off the boards, Thomas. Just flipped it out because of the Devils' pressure. Stevens back near side. Davidowski leaves it. Tip pass from Marshall. Marshall guns it into the corner. Bounces Elias. Elias got held up. Left the puck low down low. He comes from the front. Marshall does. Marshall trying to tip it. Couldn't get it there. And played up out of the zone to Cheeston. Cheeston to Paulson. Cheeston heads to the net. Paulson comes off the far side. Elias trying to get it. Patrick Elias can score 2 goals this playoff year. Just 2 and 5. Gomez leads it on top. Backhander. Kicked away. Elias. Soft shot there that Jaguar had to play to the side. Back up the middle. Shot blocked into the corner off White with the defenseman's stick.
But this matchup did not go well for the Mighty Ducks in game one. When the Devils had the Gomez line out there, the Mighty Ducks had the Paulson line out there with Cheeston and Thomas, and Mike Babcock said this morning, if it doesn't go well tonight, I'm going to make a change quickly on that line.
It's time. Back into the corner. Played up. Out of the zone, Wisniewski cleared it out. Here's Dan Bilesman. Bilesman moving. Niedermayer running. Roll check. Niedermayer just reached in and took it away and does it again. Cleared up the near side for Beeson.
The little things that Scott Niedermayer does that a lot of people don't notice.
I don't think he ever touched either of those Ducks. Reached totally around them and poked it away. Scott Stevens couldn't hold it in. Niedermayer's got to play it back at center. Scott Niedermayer, 2 Stanley Cups, playing here in New Jersey. Rayon chucked it away into the corner. Rayon dumped it around the net. Ozolinsh over there to get it. Sandis Ozolinsh, 129 playoff games for him now. Ozolinsh like to develop some offense as a defenseman if he can, but that is really tough to do against New Jersey.
Especially not at the expense of defense, because that's how you lose to the Devils.
And Dolfo shot gets blocked and went up into the netting. Exclusive coverage, Stanley coming at the Devils, shutting out the Mighty Ducks. Stevens shot deflected to the corner. So as this game moves along, keep in mind Marty Brodeur is allowed nothing so far. Jumped away to Madden. Madden heading in. Madden, Havlet there. Havlet poke chucked it away. Langenbrunner came back to help. Langenbrunner dumped it off again for Madden. Jamie Langenbrunner, 15 points, tied for third among playoff scorers. He dumps that one, trying to get it into the middle. Ruchin couldn't. Langenbrunner overskated. And Rapolsky leaves it for Stevens. Back up for Langenbrunner, Pandolfo, and Madden. Line that's been together for the Devils and creating havoc. Keith Carney spun around, got it away to Paul Correa. Over to Steve Ruchin. Ruchin tipped it ahead. They wanted a line change.
And the Madden line hasn't had to be very good defensively in this game yet because they played their D in the offensive zone.
Yep. Rapolsky off the boards and chipped in by Gianna. Again came back to hold that up for Ozolinsh. Ozolinsh, he can skate, leaves it. Sikora off the boards. Leclaire got by White, not twice. Colin White couldn't move it out of the zone. Leclaire looking into the middle, not quite. Sikora was set up, but he was guarded, and it'll be cleared out. Ruslan Saleh coming back to get it. Saleh, the 28-year-old out of Belarus, leaves that one near side Leclaire. Oates cutting to the net, back to Leclaire. Leclaire got by Gianna. Gianna reached in and tied up his stick. Gianna tries to go around the net. 7 minutes to go, first period of this game, too. Both these teams playing their patient defensive game. Gianna took a look up. Ozolinsh the hit. The Devils were changing. Kicked it off the board. Gomez cutting to the net, goes to the corner. Gomez trying to center. That was deflected off the near side and out. She stopped the rookie, dropped it off.
Sandis Ozolinsh really needs a change here, and he can't get off. He is just about out of gas. Might be just fumes in the tank. Well, the Devils have gotten a complete 5 change. I mean, everybody has changed, and Ozolinsh is still caught out there.
There he is.
Yeah,
and there it is. Here's Elias, the turnover. Ozolinsh still out there, and the Devils know it. Gomez looking to get it out in front for Elias. Bad pass.
Ozolinsh can hardly make it to the bench, but he will this time.
He'll get off the ice. Thomas moves it in. Thomas back in the middle. Cheestop. Cheestop trying to come through center to block Thomas. That deflected save made Brodeur. Paulson was out in front. Brodeur got the stick down and blocked it. McKenzie trying to clear it out. Does not. Held in. Cheestop shot it into the middle. Paulson couldn't get it lined up. Davidowski was there and got a piece of it. Here comes Gomez. Gomez will dump it in. They change. McKenzie going by. Keith Carney will pick it up. Carney behind the net. 6-5. Shots in favor of the Ducks. They got 16 in game 1.
The Mighty Ducks look way better already than they did in game 1. Their passing is crisp. They haven't allowed any odd-man rushes. Basically, they haven't shot the toes off yet the way they did in game 1.
Here comes Scott Stevens out of the zone. 8-1, the odd-man rushes in game 1 in favor of New Jersey. A very high number surrendered by the Ducks. We vowed not to have that happen again. And the way this game has started, it's not going to. In the corner, still loose. Rayon heading to the front of the net. That's the area he vacated. Knocked away. Niedermayer held it in. Look at the scrums in the corner. Leclaire colliding with Havlet. Second round. And Kuznetsky able to move it out, but this is going to be an icing. So it is a typical Devils-Ducks grinded out black and blue game. He has every reason, if he wanted to claim some of that big head, but indeed he does not.
Other than the fact that it wouldn't fit in his mask.
It would fit under the shoulder pads. Knocked away to Breland. Breland dumps it up the far side wall, or at least tried. He heads to the front. Breland, chance, save Gianna. Rebound, Gianna. Oh, Gianna is salivating.
But a good play by Ruslan Saleh. He just played the man and pushed Gianna out of the way.
Here's Milesman's chance. Save made by Brodeur. Kind of a haphazard shot that gave an opportunity. Back come the Devils over to Gianna again. Gianna up high. Save made Jaguar, and he'll hang on.
The Devils are doing the right thing, just getting the puck to the front of the net and trying to look for a loose rebound or a bounce off somebody. Breland misfired on a shot, and that was Stanley as Jaguar. When you see him on his side, his gloves outstretched.
Jaguar still leading Brodeur and all the numbers for goaltenders. Shot deflected again. Madden had the chance.
I think Jaguar got that with the left hand.
He reached out and pushed it away. A pile of people. That's something the Devils did in game one. Obviously, knowing in order to score on Jaguar, as good as he's been, you've got to create traffic. They did that in game one. They're doing it again here. Rafalski back in behind the net. 6-5 the shot, Stucks the advantage. 3:50 left, period number one. Keith Carney. Carney dumped it up the near side wall. Ball Korea. Tried to feed it in, could not. Devils just giving Korea no room, no lanes, nothing. Langenbrunner just left it. Pandolfo dropped it back. He had a little room to skate in.
Here's the deal against the Devils, too. If you don't get the puck deep into the corners, you're not going to generate anything. The Mighty Ducks get it to the hash marks, and that's where they get eaten up.
Want to remind you, ESPN's coverage of the first 2 days.
Lynch is back out there.
That was a long shift. Elias off the side of the net. Jaguar's out there covering to make sure there's no rebound.
The problem for Sandis Ozolins is he's a left defenseman. And that means as a lefty, when he's heading to the other end, he is on the near boards to us. He's got a long way to go to get over to his bench. The right D, the right winger, and even the centerman have an easier time changing than the left winger and the left D man.
Trying to move in Thomas. Could not get by White. Cheestoff dropped it off. Back in Thomas. Good pass into the middle. No, not so good at all. Actually, it was off. Our Dodge intermission report nearing. John Barry, Chris standing by. Banger's going to list, as always, our coverage of the Stanley Cup Finals. Going after that 110-year-old Lord Stanley's Cup. Got to win 4. Devils got the first one. Game 1, 3-0. In the corner, knocked away by Thomas. Sauer over there trying to dig it out. Elias does. Elias looking for Marshall cutting. Marshall knocked it down. Turned around. Had Ozolins there. Got it back. Tip to the point. Goes to center.
Another dangerous Devil, Grant Marshall. When they acquired him, they certainly couldn't have expected him to be an offensive bonus. He was just supposed to be a grinder and checker. He had turned into a scorer here in the playoffs.
What a job Marshall has done. He came from Columbus on his 30th birthday. What a gift it turned out to be when the deal was made that brought Marshall here. He did that back on March 10, so one of those acquisitions late in the regular season that pays off. There he is, Grant Marshall. Marshall dumps that one into the zone. Ozolins coming back to get it. Played in behind the net by Ozolins. 2:15 left here in period number 1. Full house on hand, 19,000 plus at the Continental Airlines Arena. Leclerc, Oates cutting high, off the blocker into the corner, centering. Sikora there, but he never got a stick on it. Back off the near side transition game. They do it well. Niedermeyer a chance. That one wide. Went off Havlet's sticks. Adam Oates collides with Breland. Breland Oates do battle along the wall. Push back into the middle. Friesen. Friesen wants to go to the point. Does. White trying to send it in. Blocked right there at his feet by Sikora. Puck sitting as White and Sikora do battle. Pretty good check there.
And that is the right word to describe what was going on. The battle. Look at this.
Leclerc shot it wide and a whistle behind the play. Penalty coming. Bill McCurry's got a hooking call. And we'll check in with Brian England.
Gary, Anaheim's really good on faceoffs. We're going to show you a couple of different ways that guys can win draws. Jason Krog is the first one. In the defensive zone, right-hander against left-hander, that's a clean win. This is Ruchin. Watch him tie it up and use his feet to kick it backwards. And then finally, Adam Oates will come in, right-hander against left-hander again, and get it back between his legs. There's lots of different ways to do it, and Bill, you know all about that.
Yeah, you notice that the right-handers just pulled to their power side because they were all to the right of Jaguar, and Steve Ruchin didn't want to draw it back at Jaguar, so he blocked and then tried to pull in the forehand. So really different strategy depending on where you are on the ice.
Only 2 penalties in the period. Both have gone against the Ducks. 18-24 hooking on Leclerc. So the Devils get their second power play in the game. They're 0 for 2 so far in this series. And one sent around far side Sauer over there, the rookie from St. Cloud, Minnesota. Langenbrunner stole it, Ruchin off his stick. Stevens sends it in, knocked down by Madden. Madden left it behind the net. Keith Carney came back to get it. Langenbrunner and Eagle lined it up the wall. Ruchin again dumps it to Sauer. 1 minute left to go in the period. Rafalski came back to get it. Well, the Ducks got only 4 shots in the first period of game 1. They've got 7 here. The Devils also have 7. Not that that's some milestone that's going to win you the cup, but you take little bitty steps.
It just means that it's an even game. It wasn't in game 1.
Yeah, under a minute left to go here in the period. Moved up by Havlet, shorthanded. Here's Niedermeyer. Niedermeyer coming. Niedermeyer looking. Niedermeyer and Rafalski. Rafalski reaches in, knocked it away, pins his man up. Push the puck out the boards. Out of the zone, collision, Paulson. Devils still on a power play now. Back into the middle, Gomez. Gomez winds up, takes it, deflected wide. And Marshall cutting through the middle. Paulson, Wiesing on the far side, the rookie for the Devils. Big jam on Gomez over there battling away. Gomez freed it up, but Niedermeyer gets it. And Rob Niedermeyer will clear. And that's going to do it. Game 2. The Ducks still looking to find a way to get a goal on Marty Brodeur, who shut him out in game 1. He has shut him out here in the first period, but J.S. Jaguar's done.
Playoffs. Jaguar's got 4 such streaks. Brodeur is closing in on 5.
Amazing. Power play continues here. 16 seconds left on the Ducks penalty. It is the second power play of the game for the Ducks. Rapolsky sends that one in. Went off the dasher and came in front. Now in front of center. Back to Stevens. Stevens a little wrong. Wrists it back down low instead of shooting. Now he's open in the middle. One-timer. Deflected wide. Jaguar came over to get it. Niedermeyer coming up. Penalty is over. No shots on that power play. So they've had 2 power plays in the game, and they've not had a shot on either. Pushed ahead by Friesen. Friesen will dump it in. Just underway here in period number 2.
Take the yards.
Take the yards.
Yeah, decline the penalty.
Take the yards.
Both teams. I mean, neither of these teams is going to win the series based on their power play.
Niedermeyer gets a turn. Niedermeyer gets in. Backhander up and over. A diving play by Friesen at the last minute to block that.
Right, that's how you generate a scoring chance. Great decision by Rob Niedermeyer, the younger of the Niedermeyer brothers, to just put his head down here. Watch this. Watch it. Look at his crossovers. Cross, cross, cross. Great acceleration to get around and in, and only a super diving play from Jeff Friesen. Watch this. That's all that saved Marty Brodeur from a real good backhand attempt from Niedermeyer.
Here's Soleil. His shot deflected. Oates in front. Couldn't get to it. The leading goal scorers this playoff year for the Ducks in the first period had a combined 1 shot. Paul Kariya did not have any. Adam Oates did not have any. Peter Sikora did not have a shot. That has been a problem for him, trying to get these goal scorers loosened up a little bit. Sikora's chance got blocked. Into the corner loose. Now we're seeing early here, second period, you've got Oates, Sikora, and Kariya playing together. They did not do this until the third period of the last game, but the Ducks, Mike Babcock, trying to find some offense.
Yep, just sneaking Paul Kariya out there when he can. I mean, that's how big each of these coaches think that one goal is going to be.
G-Stoff got it into the zone. Paulson over to get it. Niedermeyer wraps him up, takes him to the boards. G-Stoff right through the paint. No chance for a deflection. Quickly cleared out. Couldn't be handled by Elias. They wave off any icing. Conlon back to get it. Elias collides with him. Sandy Sozolench over to get it. And the Ducks move it through center again. Off the far side, Gomez. Got it away to Elias. Elias moves it in. Elias looking. Tommy Avalon up. Avalon a shot. Save Jaguar. Rebound play by Paulson, who avoids the hit of Marshall. And I mean just. Back in front, Ozolench deflected the centering pass.
That's the big reason Paulson is still conscious. He avoided the hit of Marshall. Boy, was he steamrolling.
Marshall came all the way up ice and was there and ready to go. A whistle and a penalty. Holding the stick is the call. An obstruction call by Bill McCreary on the Devils.
Patrick Elias is the guilty party.
26 jersey, holding the stick.
So we get to see the Mighty Ducks power play for the first time in the game. Here it is here. Paulson trying to get ahead. You know, the smart refs and Bill McCreary is one of those factor in where it happened. I mean, when you deprive a guy of a potential scoring opportunity, what's the time you call it? That's got more penalties in the playoffs than he had in the regular season.
Figure that one. Into the corner, Kariya. Chance for the Ducks. First power play for them of the game. On the penalty, shorthanded. Madden's out there, and here he comes every time. Shorthanded. It is amazing. Centering pass just missed Pandolfo.
AJ Pandolfo didn't know where to go in that play. I mean, they sense one another so well. And Madden's great strength is he thinks offense as soon as he gets the puck, and is he fast.
Power play for the Ducks. Try and get it set up. Into the corner. Dumped around by Sikora. Intercepted. Cleared out. Rapolsky was there to get it. Penalty game at 2:23. Elias out. First penalty against the Devils in the game. For the Mighty Ducks, they have had an 0 for 2 in game 1. Oblis sends it in. And the Ducks have gone just 6 for 54 in the power play. Devils push it up to the blue line and out to center. And that's going to be whistled. Penalty on the near side. A holding call. That'll take care of the power play with 1:05 left on it.
I got Anaheim penalty, 2 minutes holding.
Watch Breland on this play. The stick got between his legs, which Breland really did a classic spin out there. And I think he exaggerated it, but it should have been called. The penalty should have been called. Breland escaped the dive, so he got what he wanted on the play. Attention.
Attention. Now we end up with a 4-on-4 situation as the penalty comes at 3:19. Sikora on the hold. Comes back to Niedermeyer. 4-on-4, and you get some speedsters on both teams. Niedermeyer is one of those. Move back for Niedermeyer. Rob Niedermeyer brings it into the zone. Dumps it back. White came back to get it. White reversing direction and nobody over there. Gianna's got to come back with a clinch on him. Gianna just feathered that one out of there. Soleil coming when he touches this up. It'll be ice.
They're not even playing together. So Jason Arnott, the line is everywhere.
Everywhere.
A stands for all over.
Back into the corner. Jamie Langenbrunner coming back to get it. 4-on-4 still. Power play in 30 seconds. Barring any other call, will go the Devils' way. Soleil takes it back in behind the net. A couple of names there. Obviously, the Devils do not have and have kept right on winning. Without Sikora, without Arnott, without Bobby Holley, Alvaria, the player, Wolf, Rapolsky. Third around the near side. Picked up by Langenbrunner. Jamie Langenbrunner tied for first in goal scored in the playoffs with 9. There he goes behind the net. Stevens kept it. Scott Stevens leaves it. Langenbrunner trying to move it out. Langenbrunner rushing on him. Still dumped it into the zone, but Madden was already there. And we'll check in with Sam downstairs. Sam. They keep that with a picture of the Stanley Cup that has traveled with them throughout this playoff year as a reminder of what the prize is. Power play for the Devils, third of the game. Davidovsky is shot. In front.
Pay dirt for Patrick Elias, the first out of the box. This is why you shoot even when there's a crowd in front. This is why you shoot, especially when there's a crowd in front. That went off Kurt Sauer right to Patrick Elias. Grant Marshall, great job in front, battling it out with Kurt Sauer. Giguère looked like he went down playing the percentages, but when the carry came right to Patrick Elias, he had a wide open net and no Jiggy to deal with. 1-0 Devils, and the first goal has been mighty important to these teams, the Devils especially.
1 for 4 in the series. That was a short power play. Only about 40 seconds worth, but they converted on it. And wouldn't you know, it'd be a power play goal. The part of their game that matters least. Here's Madden moving it in. Madden spun around, looking to the middle. Is wide open. A chance. Giguère the save. The Devils lead it 1-0.
And coming out looking for more. The power play goal was scored by John Madden. The reason Mike Babcock can't put Paul Maria with that emotion Peter Sikora is Pat Burns would put the Madden line against them right away. And you know what? I don't think the Anaheim line would be good enough defensively to handle them.
Quite well taken. Hill on the boards. Havlet, pretty good shot as he took down Langenbrunner, and Pandolfo went after Nicholas Havlet. Here's Niedermeyer moving it back in. Niedermeyer gets stood up. Fine play by Rapolsky to Stevens. Stevens avoiding the hit of Ruchin. Here's Havlet again. Back into the corner. That's Stevens and Niedermeyer colliding. Ruchin behind the net. Pandolfo on him. Niedermeyer trying to dig it out. Good. Ruchin still has it. Ruchin gets pinned up against the wall. Cleared up the near side. Havlet a chance. Went through underneath Rapolsky's stick. It'll be played back up the boards. Langenbrunner over. Now it's getting a little testy out there after that goal. A little chipping. The goal coming at 4:42 on a power play. Elias, first of this series, third of the playoffs. The assists go to Davidovsky and Gomez. And a 1-0 Devils lead. The Devils having won the first game 3-0. Rapolsky drops it off. Bad pass. Stevens came back to get it and kicked Rapolsky a look like, what are you doing? Giguère leaves it behind the net. Moved up over Gianna's stick. This will be an icing goal on the touch by New Jersey.
His face. Billy also changed his undershirt before every period begins with a big fan in front of him as well.
Smart guy. But besides that, that green stuff doesn't look so good all over your face at the end of the period. That's why he has it strong.
White clears it off the far side. Almost going to break over to Elias, who picked up the goal. Elias in for Gomez. He's got Marshall cutting, but he was in there too soon. Devils whistled on the offside. Devils have not lost in this playoff year when they've scored first, but the Ducks have come.
They just steer you into somebody else or into more traffic. They're the most patient defensive team we have played because that lead dog doesn't try to come and bite you by himself.
And the most experienced team at getting it done. This is the system they've used over the last decade that has been so successful for them. The New Jersey Devils this past year tied for first in defense in the league. They gave up only 2.02 goals a game. Madden on a chip into the zone. Langenbrunner giving chase. Keith Carney got there first. Here's Pandolfo. Pandolfo looked into the middle. Feathered it off to himself. Takes it back to the corner to Langenbrunner. Pandolfo cutting. Langenbrunner couldn't get a handle on it. And then it's taken away by Niedermeyer. Niedermeyer, Carney from Korea. Keith Carney flips it off the boards. Back to get it Madden. Madden sweeps it around. Pandolfo was picking up ice. Never got to it. Now dousing the second effort by Stevens. Loose at center. Nicholas Hamlin came back to get it. Good pass through center ice. Niedermeyer cutting his Ruchin. Pass to Ruchin. Another fine defensive play by Stevens. Broken up. Madden bounces it away. Period 3-zip. Shots in favor of New Jersey. Which means almost midway through this game that the Ducks have 7 shots. Back in behind the net, Ruslan Saleh. Chistov coming back to get it. Chistov, couple of goals, 12 games. He is one of their leading goal scorers. They're still in the playoffs. Schwannard. Chistov in the corner. Freeland took it away. Schwannard losing. Third around by Tommy Allen to the far side. Gianna looking up ice. Gianna puts it up the wall. Saleh came back to get it. Chistov had to go back in behind his own net. Ruslan Saleh. Saleh chipped it off the glass, but it came right back into the middle instead of out of the zone. And finally taken away by Chistov and moved out. Schwannard back. Chistov both checked away by White. White, Freeland. Quick pass to Gianna. Gianna moving in. Gianna getting turned. Gianna couldn't get a shot off and nobody there to pick that pass up.
Looks like Mike Babcock has made that change. Chistov now down to the 4th line. That means Jason Krog is up playing Sammy Paulson.
And cleared out the center to White. White put it ahead. They've got to clear the zone. Moving in. Just dumped to the far side. Bisic. Over to get it was Rayon. Rayon left it from McKenzie to Rayon. This line has not played much for the Devils tonight. Into the corner. McKenzie with it. McKenzie, Saleh on it. Trying to drop it behind the net. Good coverage. Rayon. Saleh got a piece of his stick. Moved up near side and Segura will clear. Trying to go wide. Trying to find somebody. Niedermeyer got tripped over there, but I don't think that's going to be called. That's a 2-line foul. Game. And in 123 games, he has given up 1 or no goals in 52 of 123. And that is just phenomenal. Elias trying to move it in. Taken away by Sauer. Brings it up. Gomez blocks it. Gomez dumps it off. Backed in front of the net.
Sure takes the heat off your offense, doesn't it?
Get 1, you figure, hey, we've done our part.
Get 2, you're going to win for sure.
Yeah. His goals against average in the finals is 1.88 for Brodeur. 1.88. And this is his 19th finals game. He's got the best goals against average in playoff history. He's got the best regular season goals against average in the history of goaltending. And he's putting together the best final numbers ever.
And really the only man in this era, or possibly even the next era, who will have an opportunity to break any of Patrick Waugh's records.
Yep. The Devils looking to go 2 up in this series. The Stanley Cup.
And I'm way older than Paul Maurice. So thanks for catching me on that one, Ronnie.
Doesn't miss a thing down there. Drop back for Nick Hamlet. 1-0 Devils lead it. Out shooting the Ducks 10-7. Rafalski going back to get it. Devils with a power play goal and a short power play. Pandolfo goes wide. Madden's in the middle again. Madden chipped it into the air. Cleared right back out of the zone by Hamlet. And here comes Paul Correa. Going to bump his way through and Stevens made him pay. Shot save made. Brodeur a rebound. He puts his head down and covers with Niedermeyer coming in. There was a Scott Stevens hit. Just a reminder, still here. This telling minutes. Segura trying to hit a bouncing puck, couldn't do it. Back near side to Freeland. Cleared it out. So over 12 minutes into this period. Number 2 got a shot when they got that last one by Niedermeyer. Segura sends it in. Near side, dumped behind the net. The flare came up over to Gianna. Once the Devils and how trained they are. Virtually every player, every time the puck comes to them, if there's any time they are looking. They have their head up, they're looking over their shoulder. For that transition game, move the puck out. White goes back to get it. Takes it around the net for Gianna. Couldn't get it out. He'll get squeezed. Puck against the boards, and there it will be whistled. That's a new Gianna sandwich, big in New Jersey.
He's got his helmet torqued over too. His shield was down on his lip. Well, we've had so many J.F. Giguère streaks of shutout. How about this one? Mighty Ducks in the 2003 finals. They haven't scored a goal in 91-36. The third longest streak to begin the finals. Well, I'll tell you what. And the New Jersey Devils are the reason. And the Mighty Ducks have picked up their game here, but they have run into a New Jersey Devils team. And Pat Burns said, we're going to have to be better in game 2. I think the Devils are better here than they were in game 1.
That's saying a lot. That one just missed. Marshall coming through the middle. Great chance. Into the middle, it's held again. Elliott, he set up the last chance. Goes to the corner. Elliott has the goal. Gomez dug it out. He's off on him. Gomez reverses. Gomez, look at him use the body. Gets it in the middle. Elliott shot blocked. Into the point. Tamanowski a chance. Still deflected. Deflected in front. Marshall.
Traffic. Everybody talked about getting traffic in front of J.F. Giguère, but the New Jersey Devils have succeeded in not only getting traffic, but getting goals. Gomez just took Cheestoff to school. When the puck went back to Tverdovsky, it came to the front, hit in front. I mean, Grant Marshall was celebrating like it hit him.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure it hit Grant Marshall either, but it sure did hit somebody, and the Devils lead 2-0. And believe me when I tell you, on the Devils bench and on the ice, they don't care who gets credit for the goal. That is why they are successful.
He and Gomez were both down there on that shot. It deflected off somebody, and a 2-0 lead. Cleared back to center. Soleil got to get onside. They do not, and that will be whistled. So the Devils 2-0. Take a look at who touched this last. I thought Gomez did, but Grant Marshall celebrated.
Well, we know that Tverdovsky launched it, so that is a second assist for the former Mighty Duck. Great work by Gomez in behind the net. Well, that's a lot better look.
Scott Gomez gets the goal.
They just announced Scott Gomez.
So Gomez credited with a goal that'll get him out of an 0-for-8 that he was in. No points, 8 games. He gets a goal here, and the Devils have a 2-0 lead.
You notice Gomez is playing a bigger man's game. You know, he's willing to engage people behind the net, fight him off, and step out front with it. I mean, he did a great job on Cheestoff.
The other amazing thing about the Devils, to me at least, is you talk about a team that knows where the juggler is. When they get a goal, it picks up. When they get a 2-0 lead, I mean, they are just smelling the end, and they come right at you.
They're like a boa constrictor that is about to squeeze the last bit of air from your lungs.
They don't stop playing. They pick the pace up. The more the lead, the harder they come. The goal at 12-11. Gomez gets his first of the series, just his second of the playoffs. Tverdovsky and Elliott get the assists. Grant Marshall gets a 4th assist for the celebration. up the near side, also late.
Well, I was holding on all my good Grant Marshall info until we found out. Now it's useless.
Played by Stevens behind the net. He may believe his eye out of us, I'll tell you.
Well, he was part of the screen, though. Yeah. And he did the good thing by getting in there on the screen. And the Gomez line was really good in game 1.
Langer, Langenbrunner collision with Carney. Puck loose side of the net. Stolen Langenbrunner. Langenbrunner in the middle. Shot side made on Pandolfo. Stevens had moved up to help hold it in. Langenbrunner goes back to it. Stevens kicks it to the far side. The shot deflected again out in front. Knocked down. Back. Stevens shot that one into the defenseman. The Devils pouring it on. Langenbrunner cleared around. Stepping up Rafalski. Niedermeyer can't go by him. Rafalski rubbed him out. And they're going wild here in New Jersey. Pandolfo trying to send it in. Blocked by Carney. Whistled on a 2-line pass. A chance to go up 2-0 in the Stanley Cup bench.
A terrific player so far.
He's looking for his second Stanley Cup. Shot by Havlat. That gets blocked. Cleared back out. Friesen. Intercepted by Gianna. Gianna moving it up. Gianna's chance. Giguère knocked it away with a stick. Up the near side boards. Run up by Sikora. Sikora dumped it in the middle. Wisniewski to the corner. Leclerc the intended. He had White behind. Puck freed up to the near side. Nobody can get a handle on it. Cleared back up by the Devils. puts the hit on. Good shot there. Leclerc the puck. Leclerc left it off the near side. Devils trying to get a line change completed right now. Moved back by Nicholas Havlet. Bernard dumped it in.
Well, I think Freeland got hit pretty hard along the wall because he skated away with part of the advertising hanging from his rear end that was stuck on his pants. It's down by Giguère now.
Guaranteed. That's a hard hit. Up the near side. It'll be played by Dan Bilesma behind the net. Bilesma leaves it. At center. Davidovsky got an assist on that goal for Tony Avalon. Avalon pumped it away to get the pressure off. Bernard took it away. Bernard sends it in. Back to get it. Davidovsky. Davidovsky around the boards. Dan Bilesma couldn't hold it in. Bounces over everybody. Soleil will come back to get it. These New Jersey Devils here in the games they have played at home, where they are 9-1, have given up 10 goals. Count them. 10 goals in 10 games. Let me do the math. The chances aren't good. Decent. You're getting the goal, not your man.
Well, just in case you're interested, I came up with 1 goal a game again.
Yeah, I knew you'd have it. That's why I wanted to make sure people knew that. Soleil back in behind the net. 12-8 shots in favor of the Devils. And they got the puck in the point. Stevens a chance. Gets blocked by Paul Correa. Correa will start it. Correa heads to the front of the net. Return pass blocked. Correa centered. All the way to the blue line. Ducks are changing. Keith Carney, backhander in front. Again, the Devils have 4 there. And it's clear.
What a cluster of Devils in front of Martin Brodeur.
Nicholas Havlet goes back in behind the net.
It really would have to be a seeing eye shot that beat Brodeur because there's such a crowd of Devils. They almost always, I mean, you can count the times on one hand in a series where the Devils allow the opposition to outnumber them in front.
Yep. That one's going to be held in the zone. Correa, the intended. Niedermeyer trying to bounce it back. Couldn't get it there. Pandolfo trying to clear it. Vandal held in by Ruchin. Ruchin off the far side boards. Niedermeyer out of the zone. Only 2 teams have failed to score in the first 2 games of the Stanley Cup final. And you're going to go a long way back to find it. Right now, Niedermeyer and Duck still trying to find a way. Sam!
Father's getting a little spoiled here now. He's 23 years old.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, we're awfully fortunate. That's why we're down here. You never know what's going to happen again. But we're one extremely lucky family.
Congratulations, Gary, Bill.
Quite well taken right there.
We got to tell Mr. Gomez we already did say hello to Anchorage in Alaska.
Darn, it's good for him to do the same. Back into the corner. Down to 2:29 left to go here in the period. That'll be backed up to Ozolinch. Ozolinch held it in, lost it. Here comes Marshall with Gomez. Marshall looking, blast, save. Gomez reached in. Giguère didn't like it, neither did the rest of the Ducks.
No, when Gomez reached in, Giguère reached out. And the Devils now have a chance to really create some frustration, a high frustration level in the Mighty Ducks. And it has to step it up. He's been overpowered in one-on-one battles, and he really hasn't had the kind of series he wants yet. He needs to now.
Dumped into Korea. Cutting. Ruchin. Shot. Brodeur. Like that. Really answered the bell on that.
You bet. Good play by Steve Ruchin. Came all the way from his own end, and with his size, he's much harder for a guy like Scott Stevens to stop from going to the net than Paul Correa is. Scott Stevens had a chip over his stick right there, and you see the size of Ruchin. He just came in and lifted Scott Stevens' stick. Got a pretty good scoring chance on Brodeur. Oh, I think the whistle had gone by the time we saw rubber there, but I didn't think there was any opening.
That was close. That got through. The Ducks right now have 1 shot in this period, 2 shots. They just added 1 on that last play. So the Ducks with 2 shots here in the second period. Sent into the zone. Havlet coming back to get it. Moved it around the near side. Soleil. Sent back up. Sikora. Sikora. Dumped it gently into the corner. Played around behind the net. Niedermeyer over to get it from White. Up the boards, not out. Breland's there to intercept on Oates' pass. Breland in through the middle. Weaves his way in. Leaves it for Friesen. Oates on him. Centered for Breland. Breland behind the net. Looking for Oates in front. Breland turns it. Still looking in front. At the dot. Friesen a shot. Blocked by Soleil.
Friesen likes that spot. That's where he scored from in game 1 to launch the game winner.
He was wide open but had no lane to shoot through. Sent around by Niedermeyer over to Scott Stevens. A minute 12 left to go here here in the period. Devils out shooting the Ducks 13-9 in the game. Stevens plays it back. Niedermeyer. Jason Kroos moved up on 4:42 in this period. Elias scored a power play goal. At 12-11, Gomez. An even strength goal. Davidovsky, Gomez. Davidovsky again and Elias, the assists on those goals. And Marty Brodeur has not allowed a goal here in the first two games of the Stanley Cup Final. Dumped into the corner. Carney takes the man down. McKenzie and Ozolinsh go to the wall. Isik moved in. Carney reaching in. Isik goes down. Puck's underneath him. 30 seconds left in the period. Olsen came away with it. They look up ice in the middle. Wiseman a little room, but not for long. Rafalski knocked it away. Sent in. Rayon dumped it in. Got hit by Paulson. Jagger came up to play it. And Rafalski moving right in. And Wiseman for the red. Moved it. Back for Wiseman. Backhands it into the zone. With it behind the net. Gomez cut it off. The Devils machine continues to function almost perfectly. The Devils 2, the Ducks nothing at the end. A 2-0 lead after two periods, out shooting the Ducks 13-9. Face-off will be won back by Steve Ruchim. And we are underway here in the third. Dump deep into the zone. Brodeur coming back to get it. Third it around the near side. Very few penalties here in this game. Great to have you with us. Our exclusive coverage of the Stanley Cup Finals through however many attempts. We'll be there as ABC will pick up the broadcast starting Saturday. Into the middle, intercepted, and Madden just took a stick to the face. And a penalty coming.
And John Madden is down.
Carney got him.
Question now is, how big is the punishment going to be for Keith Carney? John Madden doesn't look like he's bleeding. He's breathing all right.
High sticking.
Ooh, man. Yeah, the blade of Keith Carney's stick absolutely came up and clipped John Madden. Got his helmet, too. John Madden went down holding his mouth. Just looked like it clipped him up near the eye or the helmet, but
jerked his head back. It was hard enough so that his head went back.
yeah.
So Carney's out of there 29 seconds into the third period with another power play here. This comes at 27 seconds. It'll be the fourth power play of the game. For the New Jersey Devils, they scored a power play goal. The goal picked up the first one by Elias, which gave them the 1-0 lead. Devils back on the power play now, and that's going to be whistled on the offside.
Well, the Devils got their goals in the second period. In case you just joined us, we'll take you back and let you have a look. Power play. Shot from Tverdovsky that squirted out to Elias. And that made it 1-0 to Tverdovsky with another blast. Grant Marshall celebrated like it was his, but the goal was awarded to Scott Gomez with the assist to Tverdovsky and Elias.
Not a lot of chances for the Ducks. 2 shots in the second period from Anaheim. And the Devils with a 2-0 lead. Devils on a power play here for another minute 20 seconds. Tverdovsky will clear that one into the zone. Chased down by Breland. Breland pushed it behind the net. Gianna cleared it around for Stevens. Stevens working a point on the power play. Freezing the puck. Freezing, turning. Looking back on top. Finds Tverdovsky. His shot blocked by Niedermeyer.
I think Oleg's going to think twice about shooting. The last 2 times he shot, he's picked up his primary assists. Fire, baby.
Go get him. Gianna goes to the corner for it. Soleil cut him off. Third around and out of the zone. Devils on their 4th power play of the game. They have picked up 1 power play goal in 4 chances in this series so far. Move through center. Niedermeyer. The Bucks control the puck. Niedermeyer in. On from Marshall. Blocked. Paulson trying to clear. Elias intercepted. Elias saw the room. Back to the point. Rafalski wide open. Save made by Jagger. Wide open. Into the corner. It's lost. Sauer trying to clear. Could not. Sent right along the blue line, but it came out. Elias had to come back to get it. And Wiseman was on him. The Ducks looking to clear it up ice. Can't move it through center. Rafalski will pick it up. 9 left on the power play. Little room. Gomez Stolen Paulson, restolen Marshall. Center, Gomez. Gomez centered, shot, save, rebound, deflected wide. Save to Elias. Penalty over. Just out of the box, near side, Carney in. His shot gets blocked. 3 shots on that power play. Close to being goal number 3.
Jaguar's best saves of the game, but easily the best creative puck movement by the Devils as well. Fabulous offensive play, but Jaguar just stoned him.
Played back by Ozolic. Paul Correa still does not have a shot in this game. He has 1 in game 1. That'll be knocked down by Jaguar.
But you can see what Jaguar does when he can see the puck, or when there's not a crowd in front of him. He got the first one and the second one from Patrick Elias, but what a 3-way passing play. It went Marshall to Gomez to Elias, and Elias played this right. Jaguar just stayed with him. Boy, Jaguar got over there quickly for the first Elias shot. But that is what Jaguar has done to 3 different teams in the playoffs. The Devils have gotten great results out of putting crowds in front of them and just firing pucks.
Sent into the zone. Leclerc giving chase. Dabrowski gets there first. G-Stop came up to play it. Dabrowski may have thought there was going to be a whistle on that. Mason Pro knocked it down. He centered. There was nobody there. Now we saw Havlat move in. Chance for the odd man here, but Carney got back. Havlat, the defenseman, there he is, and moved in for an offensive chance. Tipped away. G-Stop overskated. Got it back to Leclerc. Leclerc, blue liner, glove down by Brodeur. Brodeur wants that clock to run. Sent it around the boards. Rayon pushed it up. Krog holds it in. Saved by Brodeur. He'll take a whistle on that one, and we'll check in with Brian Engblom, right?
Anaheim dodged the bullet a minute ago. Big save by Jaguar, but they have to get this guy going. He's got to get some scoring chances. But what does his night look like so far? Well, it's been pretty tough for him. Every time the puck is around him, there's too many white jerseys, even on the power play on the rush. Scott Stevens and friends are around. Even when he's confronted, gets by the first guy. Here comes number 4. Wallpaper, baby. Isn't that what you said, Bill?
Yeah, good advertising for the wallpaper. Yeah, that's the key to the Devils. They come at you like a pack of dogs. I mean, there's never just one guy. If you beat the first guy, there's always a second guy there. That is the secret to any good defensive team.
Can he find a way to battle through? And how long before we see Sikora, Oates, and Correa together here in the 3rd period?
But Adam Oates said between periods, and I agree with him, you're not going to beat the Devils on the rush. You got to keep chipping the puck by them and try to get it in the soft spots in their zone, away from Martin Brodeur, and then go in and get it. Try to bump somebody off the puck. Try to create a turnover and then generate your scoring chance that way, or this way on a face-off.
Here they are, Oates, Sikora, Correa. Face-off won by Oates. Oates has won 9 out of 12 in the game. Soleil dropped it in Langenbrunner. Langenbrunner trying to center at it long. Turnover there, though, by Anaheim. Moved out of the zone by Soleil. Rapolsky batted at it. Touched up on the offside.
Those are in complete control, and the Mighty Ducks are trying to climb Mount Everest. Something reaching the size of the mountain.
Bounced off into the corner. Played by Friesen. Backhand chance. Hit the puck. Score! Jeff Friesen has done it again. 3-0 New Jersey.
That is 6 goals in the last 8 games for Jeff Friesen. Don't get too close to him. You might end up with second-degree burns. There's Steve Ruchin losing a battle again along the boards. And Jaguar wasn't ready for that one. That one looked like it was unscreened. I know that Gianna passed in front. Well, Brian Gianna might have passed in front at the perfect time to create a screen. Friesen beat him low to the stick side with just a blazing low backhander. And it's 3-0 New Jersey.
Friesen doing this against the team he played for last year. And Jaguar's given up 3 again. The Devils got 3 in game 1. They've got 3 here. Moved deeper into the zone. Tommy Havlat came back to get it. Played it around for McKenzie. McKenzie got it bounce off to Soleil. Soleil, G-Stop in behind the net. G-Stop got hit by Tommy Havlat. Puck to the corner. And Miles went back for G-Stop. Rayon was back there with him. Looking his center. Nowhere to go. Swinard. Up the near side boards. Held in. Momentarily at least. Now McKenzie's got it for the Devils. McKenzie dumps it in. assists on that goal. With a corner, Jason Crow took away by Brodeur. Fans rolling out to the Devils cheer. Rapolsky moving it up. And the Devils will send it in chain. Hamlet coming back to get it. Brodeur still shutting out the Ducks. As we said, two teams have been shut out in the first two games of the Stanley Cup final, 1945 and 1926. Devils are trying to do it here to the Ducks.
You know, Jeff Friesen didn't even lose a beat when his centerman Joe Nieuwendyk went out of the lineup. He got 2 goals in game 1 of this series. Oh, JF Giguère didn't like that goal. Little twig snappage. Yeah, I don't need this anymore. Side low taken away. And I think that's why he's mad. That was right along the ice inside the short side post. That'll drive most goalies crazy. But Jeff Friesen didn't miss a beat with Joe Nieuwendyk went out of the lineup. Sergei Brylin did a heck of a job moving into Joe Nieuwendyk's spot in center. And Jeff Friesen hasn't missed a beat at all.
Lynch back together. Again, by Babcock. Got a find a little offense. Yes, Sikora and Leclerc out there together now. Here's Sanders Lynch. Both checked away from him by Gianna. You see the Devils not backing off an iota. Brylin had it, lost it. Oates moved it away. Back up by Niedermeyer. Niedermeyer swings it around the near side. Looking wide open. Friesen in. Backhander save made. Friesen going for another. Set up Friesen. Tip bounced up in the air as it was blocked. He was set up by Brylin.
Like the Cookie Monster right now. He's got one. He's not going to settle for one.
Oh, Boogie. Picked up by Niedermeyer. And he'll send it in. Saying to somebody today about these Devils when they pick their play up when they got a lead, they want you to hurt. Not physically, mentally. Shot, wide, Ruchin. Comes near side, Soleil going back up along the boards, takes a chance, glove down Brodeur.
In the Niedermeyer family, they both have great looking beards.
Great beards, well taken care of. Into the corner, John Madden won that faceoff. Madden, their leading faceoff man, 500 through 2 periods, 8 out of 16. Langenbrunner sends that one into the corner. Madden takes the big push. As Paul Correa, a little hook and ride on that one. Up the near sideboards, Langenbrunner, chance deflected wide. Pandolfo cutting. Giguère will hang on. Patrick Waugh, where are you now?
To win the Conn Smythe 3 times.
And our best wishes to Patrick Waugh. He's going to watch his son play some hockey in Montreal. His son also a goaltender. Announcing his retirement yesterday.
The sport is lost. One of its most charismatic figures ever. We will miss him.
Good giant, boy.
Yep.
Easy dumped it in front. Right through the middle. G-Stop. Went on. Bernard sends it back into the corner. Tommy Avalon coming back in. Milesville with it. That was returned. Shot. Save made by Brodeur. Even a chance signed in the net. G-Stop. Hope checked away. This is one of the best stories the Ducks have had in the game. Pete Carney, the defenseman, moving in. Carney wanted a center. Got bumped off the puck. Milesma center. G-Stop. His pass in front. Loose. Held on to. Right through the top of the paint. Brodeur moves to the other side. Nobody there for the Ducks to deflect it home. And what a hit put on right there and a penalty coming. Was that McKenzie?
Oh, he caught him right in the chin, I think. Caught Nicholas Havlet. I wonder if Havlet knows where he is.
The final 3 for both. It's worth $900,000. Up the near side, but not out. Paul Correa got it back into the corner. He and Scott Stevens, are their leading moneymakers on the Devils at $6.9 million a year. Power play opportunity here for the Ducks. Penalty coming at 8:29. McKenzie. This is just the second power play of the game. Near side for Thomas. Marty Brodeur behind the net, played it around where he only intended to clear it out. Couldn't get it there. Second chance. Pandolfo down. Cleared up the near side board to Ozolin. And a return and find that puck. Along the blue line, drop for Niedermeyer. Cleared back in by Niedermeyer. Picked up by Hamlet. Hamlet will take it back in behind the net. Power play still underway here for 48 seconds. And again, cleared out of there on Giguère. They'll try and move it up coverage of the first.
Nevada boats. And when Mike Weir won the Master Tournament, Adam said, you know what, everybody's always cheered for me in my life. Family, friends. Mike Weir is the first guy that I've ever had a chance to be a fan of. So they're great friends and great supporters of one another.
Into the corner, White came back together. Adamos on the intercept, 24 left in the power play for the Ducks. Brodeur trying to shut out the Mighty Ducks. 2 consecutive games in the final. Sent back Leclerc. 9:47 left here in this third period. In Leclerc, backhanded through a screen wide. That got deflected on Niedermayer's second chance. Langenbrunner hit on the far side. Leclerc the puck. Langenbrunner again in the corner. Turns around, can't clear it out. Near side. Hamlet a wrister. Got blocked, never got through. Penalty over. McKenzie's out of the box. Moved up by Niedermayer to McKenzie. And he chips it in. Both teams over the boards. Dave Anderson, New York Times. Pulitzer Prize winner. Dave took a little bump here the other night. Steve is his son who works with us at ESPN. Dave Anderson, one of the great writers and wonderful people around sports. You know you're at home watching. Get back quick, we're thinking of you. Gomez just wide of the net. Picked back up by Cheestone, and he moved it through. Paulson's got it. Paulson into the zone. Paulson off the stick of Brodeur. Brodeur wants this shutout. Picked up and cleared. This will be a nice and call on the touch by Keith Carr.
8 from Jaguar.
That'll do it to you. But I'll tell you what, the Devils are doing really well. There's a chance for the Mighty Ducks. The Devils, first of all, they're getting the shots off at the point. The Mighty Ducks did a better job in the first 3 rounds of taking away the shots on the point, and it was really tough for guys to get screens at the appropriate time in front of them.
Yep. And the Devils have done what they needed to do, and the other teams could not, and that's create that traffic in front of Jaguar. Niedermayer. Ooh, what a shot he put on Rafalski. Far side, Keith Carney. Correa holds it in. Correa trying to center it, bounces off the glass to Niedermayer. 8:15 left to go, third period. 8-3-0, New Jersey leads. Off the near side, intended for Ozelinch, but it goes to the corner instead. Stevens is doing battle back there. Ozelinch trying to hold it in. Correa does. Shifted off the dasher to Niedermayer. Niedermayer sent it for Ruchin. It was blocked. Came to Ruchin. Keith Carney winding up. Didn't take it. One-timer the other way. Brodeur diving. He lost his stick.
Stick behind. If he stayed there to fight his stick loose from Niedermayer, he would have gotten there.
Brodeur again in front. Knocked away. And he had Thomas standing right in front of him. Got to get back on side. Wisniewski takes it deep in his own end. Soleil out there with him. Paulson. Mason Pro. Thomas on this line. Niedermayer pushes up the boards. Gianna goes off the wall for Friesen. Intercepted. Played back by Freeland. Taken by Soleil. Soleil trying to move it up. 20-15 the shots here on the game in favor of New Jersey. As the Devils have a chance to go up 2-0 in this series and add another win on their home ice. Knocked away by Niedermayer. The Devils can hang on here. They will be 10-1 at home. The record for wins at home in the playoff years 11, set by Edmonton back in '85. Moving up, Elias down the middle. Hamlet stayed with him. Centering pass got blocked. Pretty nifty move by Elias. Leclerc in the middle. Bounces. Oates couldn't get to it. Marshall flips it off the boards. Came out to center. Went off Sikora. Hamlet will pick it up. Hamlet gains the red, trying to dump it in. Took a hop into the middle. Sikora overskated and go back together. Oates center. Blocked by Gomez. Blocked again by Gomez. Gomez trying to clear it around the boards. Cheestop takes it away. Cheestop and Gomez. Gomez flips it as high as he can without hitting the net. Stevens plays it out. Stevens will send it in. Jaguar wandering a bit near side for Ozelinch. 6:05 left here in this third period. Keep in mind, this Mighty Ducks team lost only a couple of games coming into this final series.
And they hadn't faced adversity at all. They still haven't faced elimination once in the playoffs. And they had never lost the opening game in the series. Well, if they go ahead and lose this one, they'll be down 2-0. They were facing some adversity anyway. It just tripled.
Keith Carney played it out through center. Zdarsky came back to get it. Bounced it off for Pandolfo. He put it up the wall. Sauer cleared it back out. Devils were changing. White waits and clears. He's dumped it in. Sauer going back. Langenbrunner put the hit on. Jamie Langenbrunner. 3-0 lead. Don't care. Got a chance to forecheck. Langenbrunner Into the middle, Steve Ruchin. Ruchin almost had the odd-man rush going. Moving it in, Matt. Blue line chance save made off the blocker. Deflected into the corner. Behind that, Keith Carney will start again. Devils send one up. That's Elias. Devils quick line changes here as they roll them over. Elias sends it in. Sauer came back together. The Jersey Devils, third time to the finals in 4 years, looking for their third cup. Gianna save. A high shot and clear. This will be an icing call on the Dutch by Rafalski. The New Jersey Devils off the face-off into the corner. Marshall, who lost his stick. Soleo over it. Gomez came in to help out. Down goes Marshall. He throws a punch. Tough angle to throw a punch, but he got it away against Soleo.
That was really an uppercut.
That was
because he was lying on his back.
It was straight uppercut. Into the middle, Jason Crow trying to push it back. Devils will clear again. Niedermeyer.
You wonder if Mike Babcock is contemplating pulling Jan Shigeru off and trying to get one. Maybe 4 minutes to go.
They don't want to go back home out with a 0 on the board in 2 games.
4-0 loss is no worse than 3-0.
Oh, look at the break in. Elias fake shot. Save made by Jaguar. Patrick Elias in alone. Olsen sends it into the corner. Niedermeyer up the boards and out. They'll wave off any icing. Going to be the icing's called here in the last 3:30 unless puck ends up going on a jet plane. Will be cleared to Leclerc, knocked down by Tommy Avalon. Avalon near side Gianna. He's got a little roll. Gianna in, shot save, rebound, Leclerc. Intercepted, cleared to the boards by Friesen. Taken by Breland to Friesen. A chance, save made again by Jaguar. And the Mighty Ducks have 1 foot on the bus headed down. Into the middle, block. Sent out of the zone by White. Keith Carney's going to come back together.
There's an educated carry by Colin White. Nice little bank shot, dragging to the goal line.
Lynch moved it in. Into the corner, Stevens. 2:52 left to go. Artie Brodeur trying to shut out the Ducks in the first 2 games of the Stanley Cup Finals. Frank McCool was the last man to do that in 1945. He did it in 3 games for Detroit against Toronto. Knocked down by Stevens. Rafalski got it into the middle. Schwenard. Didn't wait long enough. G-Stop was still in the zone. Take a look at our Old Spice storyline here in game 2 of our step.
J.S. Shigeru.
Jeff Friesen having a heck of a series here. That one's going to be whistled on the offside. Face-off will come back the other way.
He's having words now with Rob Niedermeyer. Jim McKenzie is there too. Pascal Rayome.
There are some feelings there with Brian Murray, the GM, as we said earlier, saying of Friesen that he wanted to be traded because he thought he was on a team at the time, the Ducks, that weren't good enough to win. And Brian Murray kind of rubbed that in the day off yesterday, talking to the press. Maybe what some of that's about. Move back in, Paul Kariya. Kariya had it poke checked away. Does Paul Kariya have a shot yet? No, he does not.
And he had at least 1 shot on goal in his first 29 career playoff games. 0 tonight.
High up near side, Ozolinsh and Langenbrunner are going at it while the puck went into the zone. Back for Ozolinsh. Langenbrunner almost got a piece of him. Elias had it poke checked away by Sauer. They're back for Ozolinsh. 2:43 left to go. Kariya steps up. Bounced straight up in the air. Held up on the near side to Kariya again. Trying to move it out of the zone. The Devils won't let it happen. Elias just sticks it back in. Played by Sauer up for Kariya. Well, Kariya met it center. Dumps it off as they were changing. Thomas trying to move in. Went without the puck. Gomez played it high in the air and into the seats. First 2 games, Stanley Cup Finals. Last team to be
mowed down the competition in the Western Conference. A lot of people have a favor to the conference in the Stanley Cup Finals. And they get against the New Jersey Devils, and the Devils swept them. That was the introduction of the Devils trap. Jacques Lemaire was coaching. The Detroit Red Wings had no idea what to do with it, and they lost 4 straight.
Yep, I agree, but I think that's exactly what's happened here. And what is amazing, of course, is that with only a minute left to go here, Anaheim didn't exactly float into the finals. No, Jaguar is still in net at the other end. I mean, they beat very good teams, shutting out Detroit 4-0. Penalty coming up, delayed call. It's going to be on New Jersey. But under a minute left to go. Near side throw. The extra skaters out there, and there's the whistle. Anaheim shut out Detroit 4-2 over Dallas with a couple of overtime games. They shut out Minnesota 4-0. They tied the all-time mark for the fewest games played to get to the finals. But the Devils are another story, because that's what they're finding out. I don't think until you played the Devils in a series you understand what the Devils are about.
Well, to me, what it's about is the Devils have an underbelly of confidence, that inner layer of confidence that is just invaluable this time of year. They've been there before. They've done it. They never panic. They know they've got Brodeur in goal. They know they've got Scott Stevens back on the blue line. They know they've got John Madden up front with his unit. There's a certain swagger and confidence that the Devils have that is almost impenetrable for other teams.
They have 21 cup rings represented on this team. Can Brodeur get the shutout? The extra skaters on the power play. Jaguar is still in net, however, at the other end. Oates trying to drop it off. White was there to get it. Niedermeyer trying to dig it out. 17 seconds away from consecutive shutouts in the finals. Marty Brodeur. Ozolek dropped it. Niedermeyer near side for Hoppe. Elliott, Gomez, Friesen have picked up the goals for the Devils. Marty Brodeur on the verge of tying Dominic Hasek for shutouts in a season. Series 6 save made. Why not get it done that way? The final, the Devils 3, the Dutch nothing. Brodeur has done it again.
Another magnificent effort, holding the Mighty Ducks to only 16 shots here in Game 2.